Welcome, Mr. Director. It's a pleasure to have you here. And you're going to be part of a charade of legal word games. They're going to try to get you to say something that can be repeated by the media that is here that wants to report this story. I just want to get one thing straight, because one of the quotes they're going to use from you is you saying that this was a credible complaint. That will be used and spun as you're saying that it was true. And I want to give you an opportunity to, you have not investigated the veracity or the truthfulness of this complaint.
That's correct, Ranking Member. The determination on credible was made by the IC Inspector General. He made the determination that it is credible, and he also made the determination of urgent concern. My question was not, I did not question his judgment there. The question I had was, does in fact this allegation of wrongdoing meet the criteria, the statutory criteria of urgent concern? And the other issue, as I said, complicated things, did it in fact, the allegations within this whistleblower complaint involve executive privilege?
Thank you for clarifying that. Have you ever, you mentioned it a little bit in your testimony, but have you ever, or are you aware of any former DNIs who have testified about whistleblower complaints in the public?
Not to my knowledge, Ranking Member. I do not know.
Are you aware of any cases like this that were put into the spotlight? Would this be the way to handle it out in the public like this?
I am not aware of any, but I want to say once again, I believe that the situation we have and why we're here this morning is because this case is unique and unprecedented.
So why are cases normally not handled out in the public?
All the other cases that came before either this committee or the Senate committee, whether or not they met the criteria of urgent concern, were forwarded because they involved members of the intelligence community who were in fact in organizations underneath the DNI's authority and responsibility. This one just did not come that way because it involved a member, an individual who is not a member of the intelligence community or an organization underneath the authority of the DNI. So this one is different from all others in the past that I am aware of.
So I want to get into how this all got out in the public over the last, this has basically been an orchestrated effort over 2 weeks. We were first told about it, I don't know, a week and a half ago, and we were told very specifically that the whistleblower did not want to get any of this information out. They didn't want it to leak out. So there were only a few potential groups of people that would have known about this complaint. You and your people within your office.
Yes, sir.
The people within the Inspector General's office, and the whistleblower and whoever that whistleblower gave this information to. So what I'm trying to ascertain is, how would it run in all the mainstream media outlets? How did they get, even though they got a lot of it wrong, but they had the basics of it, that it involved the President of the United States talking to a foreign leader. So did anybody, you or anybody in your office, leak this to the Washington Post or NBC News?
Ranking Member, I lead the intelligence community. We know how to keep a secret. As far as how that got into the press, I really do not know, sir. I just know that it's all over the place, and as you said, it's been reported by different media for the past several weeks. Where they get their information from, I don't know.
So that,
but it was not from the intelligence community, from me, or from my office.
Thank you, Director. So this is not the first time this has happened to this president. That happened with a call between the Mexican president, the Australian prime minister. So it's happened twice before that pieces of transcripts leaked out. And of course, this time it was leaked out again, and the president, thankfully, he was able to put this out because of the actions of of the situation, as you said, that's unprecedented. Is it normal for the President of the United States to have their conversations leak out? This is the third time.
I would have to leave that to the White House to respond to that, their ranking member. But to me, the President of the United States conversation with any other head of state, I would consider a privileged conversation.
But clearly, I mean, those conversations are being captured by the intelligence agencies. So,
Not necessarily, sir. I mean, if the President of the
well, I should say this, they're captured and then disseminated.
when
They're captured and disseminated to the intelligence agencies.
I have to be careful in this open hearing about, how I respond to that. The intelligence community and the National Security Agency, obviously, they collect things that are to protect.
I just want to make sure, because are we just going to, foreign leaders, we might just have either the President of the United States not talk to foreign leaders, or we should just, let's just publish all the transcripts, because that's what's happening here.
Ranking member.
And somebody's leaking this, and it's likely coming from the agencies that you oversee.
Ranking member, no, that's, sir.
I mean, I'm not saying that you don't know, but we had the transcript with the Mexican president, the Australian prime minister, and now contents of a call with the Ukrainian president leak out.
Ranking member, the allegation in the whistleblower complaint was that there were about 12 people who listened in on the conversation, members of the National Security Council and others. And then others were briefed from State Department as well of the transcripts, because if they have an area responsibility and a region responsibility, then they would be informed on the interaction. So there were a number of people that from the White House briefed from the call. This would not be something that
Well,
was
I'm quite sure of this.
Yes,
The
sir.
White House probably didn't leak this out.
I wouldn't say the White House, but there are individuals within the White House that may or may not. I don't know. But it would not be from an intelligence intercept, I will say that.
Right, I'm just saying the dissemination of these calls is supposed to be sacred, right? I mean, it is important for the State Department and the appropriate agencies to get. I'm not saying it's all in the intelligence agency, but when a president talks to a foreign leader, it's confidential. Those contents are confidential. There could be some facts of that conversation that you do want to get to the appropriate agency, not just the IC. I want to be clear about that. But this is now the third time. I'm not aware of this ever happening before, of contents of calls like this getting out.
I really don't know, Ranking Member. I'm not aware. I don't have the numbers to think. It just seems to me, though, that it is unprecedented. And I would also say, I think that the decision by the President yesterday to release the transcripts of his conversation with the President of the Ukraine is probably unprecedented as well.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and have fun. Be careful what you say, because they're going to use these words against you.
Well, I tell you what, Ranking Member, either way, I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored to be leading the intelligence.
And I appreciate your service to this country for a long time, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. Hopefully not in the public, hopefully behind closed doors like this is supposed to be done.
Thank you very much,
I
Ranking.
yield back.